Welcome back, listeners, to Station 50.7, where we talk about the latest news and the news top hits. On today's session, we have an amazing lineup. We're going to be talking about the next up-and-coming millionaire, 16-year-old Genesis Navarrete Hernandez. On today's session, we'll discuss where she comes from and her rise to fame, her supporters and investors, and her future plans to making big bucks. On her rise to fame and success, Genesis was born in Council Bluffs, Iowa, but then she moved to Carter Lake right after. She lived in Carter Lake until she was 12, but then moved back to Council Bluffs, where she now attends Abraham Lincoln High School, the home of the Lynx. She is now in 11th grade, learning how to manage her future paychecks. On her rise to fame, Genesis has had and continues to have many investors in her life. Her biggest investor is her mom, Maria, who is 40 years old. Her mom has taught her and her siblings to always work hard and try their best in school and not to get distracted by other hobbies and interests. And then this will pay off in the future. This is what started Genesis' drive to want to be very successful. Her next biggest investor is her dad, Isaac, who is 48 years old. And then her next four investors are her brothers, Jonathan, who is 23 and is a flight attendant, Alex, who is 20 and is an entrepreneur, Yondell, who is 18 and is currently enrolled at UNO for aviation, and then her youngest brother, Yamar, who is 11. Her next two investors are her friends, Aliyah and Rosie. Rosie would describe Genesis as very compassionate, funny, caring, and kind. These traits will help Genesis in her future to being successful. While these people are investing in Genesis, Genesis also plans to invest in others in her future. For example, Genesis wants to use her future paychecks to pay off her parents' house. In the future, Genesis would also like to have her own apartment and car. And Genesis plans on making her future paychecks by being a ultrasound technician, and this will make her future riches. Genesis plans to do this by getting her CNA and then attending Iowa Western Community College. And then after that, she would want to go to another school, although that is not yet decided. Wherever Genesis attends, we'll be incredibly lucky to have her. But right now, that is a long time until Genesis can have a stable income from being an ultrasound technician. So she works about 25 hours a week at Blue Beacon, earning her paychecks. She uses these paychecks to buy her family and friends things, traveling, and she also is saving up for future expenses. So now, wrapping up today's session, we'll go over what we have talked about. Genesis's investors and supporters, where she comes from and her rise to fame, and her plans on making big bucks in her future. Thank you for listening in on 50.7, and we hope to see you tomorrow.